This is Michelle, and you're listening to Words with Michelle, the podcast, a show where I sit down and have conversations with influencers on a range of topics, anything from natural hair, employment, discrimination, food, relationships, and everything in between. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. If you want to send me an email, hit me up at michelle@wordsmichelle.com. Thanks for tuning into part 2 of the Dating in the Age of COVID-19 series. Today I'm speaking with matchmakers Natasha Saunders and Nicole Scott, also known as the Love Listeners. With over 20 years of matchmaking experience, these two experts help you find love. In the first episode of the two-part series, I spoke about if it were possible to date in the age of COVID-19. In this episode, it deals with the highs and lows of dating in the age of COVID-19, focusing on those who are serious about dating and are willing to go to services that help them find love. Today, we welcome the Love Listeners to the show. Thanks for being on the show, ladies.
Natasha and I used to work for one of North America's largest matchmaking companies for a very long time.
Yeah, professional matchmaking. So It's not online. It's like you come in, you sign up, and then you come to us and we personally match you.
It's full service, not self-service. Mm-hmm. So we've always been in the industry of full service matchmaking where people have to come, you have to go through a whole screening process, join, blah, 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 blah. Our company ended up going under. Okay. So I just basically poor management. Oh. And so Natasha and I decided, you know what, this is our lane. We've been doing this for 20 something years. It's all we know, right? So we decided to create our own company based on all of the experience and knowledge that we gained from working for the largest relationship company, and then creating our own thing. So we took all the things everything that we learned from there, the good, the bad, and the ugly, we've since poured it into our own company. And essentially what the Love Listeners is, it's a matchmaking and relationship company, but essentially what we do is the coaching before the matchmaking. Because a lot of people are putting themselves out there not ready to date, and they don't think that they need the coaching aspect of it. Because when you hear that, they're like, oh, no, I got this, I need this. I don't need that. But they don't realize that they're going out there not ready, and a lot of times not healed to find somebody for a long-term relationship.
I think that's I think that was one of the biggest lessons that we learned being a matchmaker was it's not, and we talked about this a little bit, Michelle, when we originally spoke about putting, no sense in giving your car a new paint job if the inside's not working. Yeah. So you could go to the gym, you could put lipstick on, you could be vegan, you could do all of that stuff. But inside, right, that person on the inside, whatever you do to that person on the outside, when you meet someone brand new, that stuff on the inside, that's what the person's going to fall in love with. So if that stuff on the inside isn't working, it makes your life and dating very painful. So we will talk about dating in COVID times, and we'll discuss a few little things about that, the good, the bad, and the ugly about that. But it's in any dating situation. If you are putting yourself, like we saw the people that were putting themselves out there that were healed, and their experience of their relationship journey to find love is A, way less painful, and B, more importantly, way quicker. They have no notions in their mind about, obviously on any dating platform now, you're not really meeting someone in an authentic way. You hope that the list of things that you write down on paper is going to be the dreamboat guy or the badass broad. But in the end, it's not about that stuff on paper. We worked at a company for 17 years, and Nicole and I had to match 100 people each per day. Yeah. So some of those are going to work out great. And some of them, exactly. Some of them are going to be fantastic, and some of them aren't. And there's a whole process to making that happen. So when you're matching at that high level and you see the return of whatever you're working on, no, I don't know anyone wickeder than us in matching. And we're not the answer.
Yeah.
You are the answer.
Only you are the answer.
I can, as good, Nicole and I put the most amazing matches together. People would be like, no, I see why you put that together. We do like a lot of the same things, but there just wasn't anything there. We can't, nobody can do that. Not a matchmaker, not a coach, not a website, not an online service. Nobody can do that until you realize that it is 100% up to you of how your life is going to turn out in love and in business and all of those things. Only you have the power.
So I like what you guys said, and was like holistically you do your like matchmakers, like you start from within first, like with the client to make sure that they're all good, and then you proceed. That's very healthy. Like emotionally, that's very healthy, you know?
You know what? We had done a live and we were talking about this the other day that, you know, when we first started matchmaking till now, I think halfway through the process, I started to realize the importance of the coaching aspect of it. Because a lot of people come to us and they don't want that part of it because they don't figure they need it. They think they have it all under control. That's not it. I know exactly what I want. I know exactly who I am and all this good stuff. But then they end up in the exact same position, right? They're maybe able to get a relationship and keep that relationship for maybe 10 months. Maybe somebody's lucky and they get to keep it for 2 years, but it falls apart inevitably, always in the same manner because you're failing to look at the why. You're looking at everything else and not looking at why is this not working.
Yeah, it's not that it's not working.
Yeah,
it's why is it not working?
And a lot of people are out there
not asking that question.
100%. You have a lot of wounded warriors out there searching for love, but they're broken. So you're out here trying to meet unhealed people as an unhealed person and trying to make something beautiful happen out of it. It just it's really
it's
hard
like
to do it.
Your foundation of your relationship is hurt people hurting hurt people. And now you're trying to make love out of that, and it's really painful to do.
And then what ends up happening is people say F love. End up just being like, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm over it. I'm just gonna be single, sexy, and happy by myself. I don't need anybody. Same thing with men. They'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna go my MGTOW. Men going their own way. It's a whole thing. Google it, girl.
I never heard of that. Never heard of that.
Yeah, like it's
dark.
It gets dark out there, right? Because people are so upset with dating.
So actually, let me just interject. So I just want to ask you guys, because I know we touched upon it a little bit, but okay, we are going through a quarantine right now.
Yes.
You know, where everyone's on lockdown. Do you think it's a good idea to start dating in these times? Do you think dating in the age of COVID-19, does it exist? Does it not exist? Can someone start dating now?
I think that
everything has its light and its dark.
Exactly. Okay. I'm not going to tell
people you got to find the balance.
Yeah. I'm not going to tell people not to date in COVID. You know, there's lots of things you can do. There's a bunch of like matchmaking parties that, you know, matchmakers have. There's an
matchmaking parties?
Yeah, they're having like
virtual happy hour. They're having virtual happy hours.
Yeah, matchmaking parties, things like that.
I did not know that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a ton of things.
There's always online dating.
People are getting great. There's always online dating, right?
I'd like to even actually know the stats of that. How online dating must have gone up since COVID, because what else are you going to do? And you're lonely. So it's like, you're going to,
Board.com.
Yeah, board.com.
Yes.
Trust me, yeah.
I mean, so I feel like you can date during COVID, but the risk you run, so the dark part that she's talking about that we usually, you should actually explain it.
Okay.
You're the best.
COVID, it's like it's all good until it's not. Once COVID's over and they go back to their regular life, they're going to be the person that they were.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're saying that people are like different now during like dating because of the situation.
Of course. Like I can't come and see you because it's COVID.
Yeah.
I would love to be with you, girl. When I am with you, what I'm going to do to you when COVID's over. It's like this little string. But until COVID's really over, it's just COVID talk.
Yeah. I mean, that's the dark side of it. But the light side of it is, here's the beautiful part of that.
Exactly.
Just like long distance dating. It forces you to actually get to know somebody
dig deep.
a little more intimately without the because I think a lot of people, when they think of intimacy, they think of physical.
Yeah.
They think of, sexual intimacy, where intimacy is really getting to know someone deeply. And that happens through communication, through conversation. So I feel like you can create that during COVID.
Yeah, like this bond, this cool
bond, that you
yeah.
really get to know somebody really well if they're serious about it. You know what I mean? You're always going to run that risk of, and it depends on where you're meeting them as well. And it also just depends on the person. Like, can somebody fall in love during COVID?
Yeah, the only thing it depends on is you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because you have to keep that in mind too. It's not necessarily the person you're speaking to. It's how you are speaking to that person.
What are you calling in?
Yeah, what are you calling in? Like when it's COVID, right? Like, I don't know, I have a girlfriend. She's like, oh my gosh, you're the only person I know that says like, I love COVID. It's like, it's brought me to this place. It's grounded me and it's opened my eyes to things. It's made me dig deep. Yeah, I went in it and it was beautiful and I'm happy about that. Mm-hmm. So, but it really depends on you. Where are you in life right now? Are you sad? Are you lonely? Are you not feeling good about yourself? And now you're putting yourself in there because you have time. So if you are in that place of lack and you're trying to speak to someone, whether he's your COVID bae or not, he's picking up on everything you say. So when COVID's over, then you're going to really see the truth of it all, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that's really important. It's always about you. It's always
going to go back to, it's always going to go back to, how well are you while you're out there trying to date and trying to meet people. But like just generally speaking, I think that you can find love during COVID. You can definitely date effectively during COVID. Yeah. You just have to be mindful, right? You just have to be super, super duper mindful and make sure that you're not wasting too much of your time.
Yeah, because even you might be in a place where like, you aren't at work right now and you're not stressed. So you are a happier version of yourself. You're like, fuck, I feel so good. Mm-hmm. I don't have this job. I don't have to see my boss tomorrow. I have to work with these people I don't like. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling so happy. Like, I'm going to put myself out there. Like, So I feel like it's really about that. It's always about that.
Yeah. It depends. On where you are in your own personal journey when you're putting yourself out there.
How you guys are adapting to this then? Because I think before you were saying that, I guess you would meet your clients in person. So how have you adapted to the COVID dating or dating in the age of COVID for your business? How have you adapted to that?
So for us, it hasn't really changed too much because we had already kind of started leaning towards more online platforms anyway. Not necessarily like we do help people with online dating, but use all of our what am I looking for? Communication. All of our admin stuff, everything like that is pretty much online anyway. So we had been shifting over from meeting people in person because oddly, it's like they were training us for this. Yeah. Most people would pick that option because we would give people the option of how would you like to conduct this interview? Would you like it to be in person, over the phone, or a video chat? And a lot of people wanted it over the phone.
Okay.
Right.
I wonder what that is. That's odd. Sorry.
Yeah. Gone are the days.
I would want to meet you in person. So why do you think people shifted to on the phone? Is it the time
way of living? Yeah, they've been training us. Think about it. They've been training us for a long time. Zoom's been around for a minute. They've been training us to go this way. So a lot of people, especially we deal with a lot of busy professionals.
Okay.
So it's a LinkedIn lifestyle. They're just used to being fast paced. Like, let's just do it while I'm on my way I'm in the Uber on the way to da-da-da. Like, you know what I mean? So we try to accommodate that as much as possible by giving them the option. And once we noticed that not many people really wanted to meet with us in person anymore, we're like, hey, cut the gas. I mean, like,
that's true.
Just everything. It's inconvenience of like taking that travel time out worked for everybody. Right?
Absolutely. So, exactly.
And we also too, like we only know through the whole course of our matchmaking life, we have always held phone conversations. That's how we never met anybody face to face at the machine. That was another department.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So people always came to us not knowing us until they got to know us after through our phone conversation.
And then sometimes they would come in and meet with us.
Yeah, they would want to meet with us. That's another thing you have to be careful about COVID, about the conversations you're having now, so that you're setting yourself up to win when COVID's over. If we're just going to talk about all the dirty little things we're going to do when COVID's over, best believe that that person's thinking, oh, okay, well, I see what she's about, when she's probably not. She might be just wanting to have some flirty fun in hopes that it's going to turn into a relationship. But there's all those things that happen before that. So when we just really started to kind of even tap into that for ourselves, it was a very eye-opening experience about who really loves you and who do you love.
Okay, just have one last question. I wanted to ask, have you seen like a little bit of a spike in people coming to you right now because they want to do that COVID dating, or it hasn't been the same? Like,
no, I think that people are laying low. I think that people, like, during this, like, I think that it's starting to loosen up a little bit, but for the last month or so, people are up in arms, you know, people aren't sure what to do.
Scared, worried.
It's an uncertain time. And when things are uncertain, that's not your time when you want to be throwing yourself out there. And we've been kind of laying low too. We just want to see what's kind of, what's happening with everybody.
Exactly. In the future, we can't put a date on it just yet, but we'll say it out loud. So, it's real.
We put it out there.
So it's real. We're working on a program right now to really, really, really help people to dive deep. And we're kind of going through it ourselves right now. So, we have a lot of testimonies on our website and all that good stuff, but we want it to come from the horse's mouth. Do you know what I mean? We want it, like, the information that we're sharing with people is, tried and true.
Yeah, it's like, from a real place.
I'm telling you this because we did it.
Yeah.
We've told other people do it, and this is the result they got from it. We did it. This is the result we got from it, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So right now we're just in the process of doing that, and that's why we are not taking, like, clients right now. You had asked earlier.
Okay.
So right now I think, like, we're finishing up with what we already have, and we're just going to be on a little hiatus. But we are available for coaching calls, just not matchmaking. We're not accepting any matchmaking clients right now, but we are limited amount of coaching.
Because, this was a real journey for us, like a personal journey and also a professional journey of who we really want the love listeners to be.
Yeah.
And
how we could be most effective and how we can service people. Natasha and I, in 2015, remember this so vividly, it was December. It was coming out into the new year of 2016, and so much was changing. And we just had this overwhelming, like, we've always been, the underdoggers. We're always going for the underdog. We're always trying to, we want people to win genuinely.
Yeah, we're angels on earth.
That's what we mean to be.
Yeah, like, we just want to help people help themselves and be there for them.
We're intentional about the way we live our
we're
life.
just supportive people, I guess.
Yeah. So we decided that, like, we want to be the change we want to see in this world. Literally in 2015, December, we want to be the change we want to see in this world. So we're going to start to come at it that way. And ever since, this just been this beautiful,
it's changed our lives.
We started our company right after that. Like, just been this beautiful, has its moments.
Beautiful disaster.
Beautiful disaster is what we call it. Let's call it, because it's you're
it's
pregnant.
Life, but it's life.
Yeah,
life is a journey. Yeah, and you can't go through your whole life unscathed. It's just impossible. And
you're not living.
And then when you actually get through the pain of whatever that was at that moment in your life, it should change you for the better.
Yeah.
It should grow you.
Yeah.
It should mature you. Yeah. It should be introspective. It should be life-changing. But we know oftentimes when bad things happen in people's lives, it just keeps them there. It just holds them down, It's like a chokehold for them. And then their outlook is based off of that. And now it's their reality that they have a horrible life. And it's like, oh man, you could see that with people, if you like lost your job or you lost a relationship or whatever, you can see the decline of the person. And it doesn't have to be that way. You will push through this. And you don't have to keep your life held down. You can flourish. It's just about learning how to overcome.
It's about being given the tools, and that's what we're going to do. that's what we want to do with our program. We want to be able to help
Yes.
people, give them the tools that they need so they can transmute whatever was horrible into something that's beautiful. So that you can, and when you get in the mindset of living your life that way, you, not just your romantic relationships will change, but everything changes. Yeah. The way you live in general changes, and that's
the way you
what
feel.
And that's, to us, is like everything, the holistic approach to it, because we see how much it can change every aspect of your life for the better. And then for us to be responsible for that just feels so good. Listen, 2020 so far, it's been what, 5 months, and it feels like it's been 5 years.
No, it's
5 months.
Well, May just started. We have to get through the whole of May.
True, but we're in May. Yeah, we're in May already. Like a lot has happened in a little bit of time.
True.
A lot have happened in a little bit of time, but we're still very, very hopeful that a lot of beautiful things are happening, as well as COVID has been horrible for some people, for sure, because we know that people have lost their lives and things of that nature. But also the flip side to that is that hopefully people are also internalizing a little bit and taking this time for themselves, because you're kind of forced on this mandatory lockdown. So if you are going to be dating while on COVID, hopefully you're really looking into things.
Yeah, you're in a good space.
Yeah, like looking into,
you're feeling good.
Yeah, don't just go for the willy-nilly. Go for the best.
I feel like that's probably the downside of COVID. It's like, you're bored in the house.
Yeah.
So it's like, you want to make sure that it's not just out of boredom and the other person is feeling you the same way you're feeling them. And if you're doing it out of boredom, does that other person know
Chances are maybe they could be too.
Yeah.
That's energy. That's energy, right?
Yeah. So you kind of have to see where you're at is going to, no matter what, like if it's COVID time, if it's spring, summer, Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, Thanksgiving, wherever it is in your life. Are you happy? Are you feeling good about yourself? Because I feel oftentimes when you are putting yourself out there and it's not working, it does affect the way you're feeling about yourself inside. Mm-hmm. And then you're still putting yourself out there and being hopeful when you're not feeling good inside. But when you're not feeling good inside, that shows up to the date, not your outer appearance. It's your inner appearance that is showing up more.
Yeah, the negative Nancy or the negative Norman that is greeting you on your date is...
I mean, it's just, to us, like, how, if you keep going on dates and they're not working out, how do you continue feeling good about yourself?
You're just a human being.
I'm just human. I wouldn't be able to do that. If I had gone out with 10 guys in the last month and no one wanted to go out with me again, I would be feeling pretty down about myself. And I think that I'm a pretty confident person. Yeah. But that would hurt me. Yeah. And so at least you can have some support while you're going through it, so that you're not going on 51st dates
with no result.
Yeah, nobody wants to do that.
Yeah.
But I want to say thank you. I honestly, you gave me and the audience some good information. So thank you for like sharing what you do and like holistically what you do, because it seems like it's everything. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's from them working within themselves to like finding love. So thank you for taking the time to talk to me today.
Thanks again for listening to the latest episode of Words with Michelle, the podcast. I had fun airing the dating series, and I hoped it helped you answer some questions on what to expect while dating during the age of a pandemic. You can subscribe to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Google Play, and Podcast Addict. You can also listen to my shows on my blog, which is wordswithmichelle.com. If you have any questions or would like to provide a comment or feedback, or if you'd like to be a guest on the show, you can email me at michelle@wordswithmichelle.com. Thanks again for listening. Until next time, bye.